I really told myself in my mind, I know the kind of life I want and I'm going to get there. I don't know how, but I'm just going to work towards getting there. The universe will meet you where you want it to meet you. That's what, and I think having gone through all these things, I think now whenever I have a tough moment, I look back, I'm like, girl, you've been through worse things. If you're no longer at the table, leave when you can and leave your own terms. Because if you don't leave, you'll be forced to.
That also works, where you're just like
Yeah,
going
it was
to.
an okay week.
Are you a routine person?
On only one thing,
Okay.
on working out.
You-
I really keep my routine to work out at least 5 to 6 times a week.
Okay. 6 times a week.
So I'm very dedicated. The rest of my life, I'm very flexible.
But that one, you're like,
But that one, I have to.
so what kind of schedule do you
But
keep around it?
I don't really have a particular schedule. It's just very important for me that once a day I work out.
Okay.
I'm more of a morning workout
Okay.
person, but when I have to go to the office, sometimes it's difficult. So I will work out in the evening,
Okay.
but I have to work out.
Okay. Okay.
My way of releasing stress. And I tend to think that many of my good ideas have come when I'm working out. So I run,
Oh, okay. You
I
run.
do a lot of jogging, and also like I do indoor workouts.
I
So
see.
weights, that
Nice.
is, yeah. But mostly when I'm running is when I have good ideas. It's when I really tend to wind down. I'm restructuring my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm thinking what I should do. That's my way of relaxing. It's weird that running is my way of relaxing.
So it's not weird because it actually resonates with me. And a recent conversation I was in was I have these friends who keep trying to make me join their run club.
Yes.
And I've told them,
Yes.
like, no, I can't, because running is a solitary activity for me. It's really my time.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're saying. For me, I think I definitely, I put my headphones on, I get into the zone, and I actually process a lot of things while I'm running. But I'm totally with you that it is the time where I make a lot of progress on ideas when I'm running. So that's good to know.
Good to
Nice.
know that you run too.
Fantastic. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? A little bit of like who you are, what you do, what you're passionate about, and then 3 words that describe you and why.
That's a very long question. So you already know me from LinkedIn.
Yes.
I'm Doris Temko Kiruri.
Mhm.
So that's my middle name, which I love so much.
Okay.
And I come from Kenya. So I grew up in Kenya. I come from a family of 7 daughters, so I have 6 sisters.
Oh, wow.
That's always a surprise.
Huge. That's a huge family.
And yes, I know, but we are all grown up, so we are very close.
Okay, very nice.
So that's something very important. I'm very close to my sisters. And I studied in Kenya, and at the age of 25, I moved to Europe.
Okay.
I came to study in Maastricht.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my bachelor's there. And after 3 years, I moved to France,
Okay.
where I did my master's for 1.5 years. But I didn't want to live in France. And I moved to Germany in 2017. And this is the place where I've really built my career
Ah,
and my life right now.
okay.
So I've been here for 8 years. Yeah, and it's not been smooth.
Of course.
Of course, it's been challenging. Moving from home, moving to Europe, it wasn't an easy path because when people look at your life most of the time, they just think it was A to B.
Yes.
Yeah, they never see everything that, went on behind and what you've had to go through to be where you are.
Yeah.
So that has been my journey so far. And you also asked me 3 words that would describe me. I would say first is resilient.
Okay.
I'm very resilient.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back at what I have been through up to now, resilient would be one word.
Of course.
I'm very, I would say, open.
Okay.
I'm an open person,
Mm-hmm.
open to learn, open to new cultures. I'm always looking for new things to experience.
Okay.
I would say open. And the third would be ambitious. Whatever I put my heart to do, I
Mm-hmm.
will do it. I always tell myself, I can't fail. I will only learn lessons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So those are the 3 words that I would use
I love it.
to describe myself.
I love it. I want to now unpack the rest of your story. So, yeah, we also got to be fast friends because I'm also a multi-country immigrant.
Yes, I remember when you shared your story.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, moving to all these places, and it looks like it was like a fun ride. But hey, girl, let me tell you,
We can laugh about it
we
now.
can laugh about it now, but you look back
Now.
when you're going through it, it's a different thing. So I want to hear more of that story for our audience here. But then maybe let's walk back to Kenya, to young Doris.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Did you have like a dream? Like, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
I had many dreams
Okay.
that kept changing. But one that I keep laughing about was I wanted to be a Lingala dancer. I know that's funny. No, we used to have this television, black and white television.
Yes.
And at a certain time, they used to play like Lingala.
Yes.
There was a session. And I remember I've always been a slim kid.
Yeah.
I was like thin, And I used to try and tie something around my waist and try to
Oh
shake it.
my
And I
God.
remember telling my father one time that I wanted to be a Lingala dancer. That's one thing that I laughed so much.
Oh my God. Okay, this is the first time anyone on the pod has ever said that, but also like I can see it. And the way I can see it is because Congolese music. So I think now people talk about Afrobeat and stuff like that, but Congolese music has been the biggest African export,
I know. Ever since when I look back,
especially on the continent. We all grew up with like Kanda Bongo Man. I don't know if you know this. Yeah,
exactly.
Yondo
Who
Sister.
doesn't know Kanda Yondo Sister?
What?
Who doesn't remember?
Yes. And who didn't want to be a waistline warrior? We all
I remember it was Congo, and then at some point,
Uh-huh.
South African music,
Yes.
I remember, took over. It
Uh-huh.
just took over. I just remember there used to be artists like Pamela Nkota.
Yes.
For
You just brought back a core memory for me so much that I am like dying because I was like, I saw it. I was like, oh my God, this was all of us. But you took it even further. You wanted to.
I wanted to be a Lingala dancer. And then at some point I changed. I wanted to be a lawyer because I had a cousin who was studying law at that time.
I see.
And I really looked up to him. And I was like, I really want to be a lawyer. But that dream was killed The first day I came to Maastricht and I took a course called Introduction to Law. And I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
couldn't understand words, civil law. And I was like, you know what?
Reality
I
check
can't
you.
be a
No, no,
lawyer.
no. But okay, so you wanted to be Lingala dancer and then lawyer. What happened in between? So let's talk about before you even get to Maastricht. Let's talk about your journey from in Kenya. So.
I went to high school. So
Mhm.
one thing is that I went to boarding very early at the
Uh-huh.
age of 10. I don't know if
Oh.
you went to boarding, if you guys had boarding
Yeah.
school. So from the age of 10 until 17, I was all the time in boarding school. And
Uh-huh.
somehow boarding school has a way of instilling a routine. You know, it's run like a
Yes.
military.
Yeah.
The bell will ring,
I
you
know
will
the
wake up.
drill.
Yes, you wake up, you do. So there was just that part where I feel like I lost myself being in boarding school.
Is it?
I know some people look back and they miss. I don't miss boarding school.
Interesting.
I never liked it. Yeah, I think that's the part of my life where I really never liked it, boarding school, because you are put in such a routine.
Uh-huh.
You're thinking you're young, you should be exploring your childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly you're just in this routine where then 3 months you're in boarding school,
1 month
1 month
you're at
you're at
home. So
home.
it's literally your whole
Yeah,
life. Your whole
it's literally
yeah.
my whole life. I really didn't like it because I just felt like as much as it was good, my parents, of course, had the best
Yeah.
intentions
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
they were doing the best they could do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our parents thought they want you to focus.
Yes.
So they take you to boarding school so that you can focus.
Interesting. Took away your freedom and your
It took away,
like the
it took away
experiencing
time.
childhood, right?
Not even that. I felt like boarding school disconnected me also to my parents.
Uh-huh.
Your parents don't know how you're growing
Yeah.
up, your teenagehood,
Mm-hmm.
when maybe they should be understanding
Okay.
you and you should be getting close. I just feel like
Mm.
it took that away.
Okay.
And then after that, you're an adult.
Mm.
You have to figure your life out.
Okay.
So, and I left home at 18.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Like my father didn't have a job at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, I'm not going to stay here in the village. I have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I contacted a cousin of mine and I went to be with him. He found me a job. And I was laughing recently because my first job was working at a flower farm.
At a flower farm.
It was,
Okay. So you were like a farm laborer.
yes,
Okay.
I was. And that job was so tough.
Mm,
It was tough being in a greenhouse
yeah.
the whole day, cutting flowers. It was a tough job.
Wow.
So that was my first job in Kenya.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then I was just thinking, what did that job teach me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That job taught me the kind of life I didn't want to have.
Okay. Yep.
Yes,
It's important to know the things you like as much as the things you don't, right?
exactly. And that job taught me the kind of life I didn't want to have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hated that job, to be very honest. I
Traumatized you.
hated it because where we lived, the flower farm was so far away. I was staying with my cousin. In the morning, you had to hitch a hike on one of those lorries or trucks because it was just in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Every time I thought, this can never be my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
This can never be my life.
Okay. It was a start and it was a stepping stone to the next thing.
Exactly. I worked there for a while, I think a few months, and then I just quit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I had anything. I just quit. And I reached out to another cousin of mine at that time, the one who was a lawyer, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to pay for you computer course. Computer courses were just coming up at that
Oh,
time.
interesting. Okay.
Everyone, was doing all these courses, Excel, Microsoft. It was the
Yeah.
in thing at that time in Kenya.
Yeah.
So I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, I want to do some computer course. So then, yeah, he took me. And when I was there doing that computer course, I did find another job
Okay.
to be a salesperson
Okay.
for some insurance. That was another job. I was like, I can never be a salesperson.
Oh. Okay.
I was like, no,
Okay.
convincing people to buy policies
Yeah.
everyone is so skeptical of you as an insurance person because insurance had such a bad reputation.
Yeah.
Just never, insurances were not paying at that
Mhm.
time. They were not regulated. So everyone was just so skeptical.
Yeah.
And I remember we did that with my friend, I think 2 months or 3 months, and we just quit.
Another one.
But then
Another one bites the dust.
another one bites the
Yes.
dust. But then in the hustle and grind of Nairobi, because you're thinking you have to do something,
Uh-huh.
I got another opportunity to work at a bank.
Okay.
And that was also selling accounts.
Mhm.
It was so tough.
So
It
sales
was
is
so
not your
tough.
thing. We now know this. We know this already, that you were not gonna be the one.
I really don't like selling things
Yeah.
to people.
Fair.
I'm like, first, people know what they want, especially when it's tangible products.
Yeah. Mhm.
When it is tangible products, I'm like, an adult knows if they want new socks or not.
Yeah.
So I can't. I'm very proud of people who can do this so
Yeah.
well that they can sell you anything, even a pen.
Mhm.
I know people who are so good, but that was just not my calling.
Okay.
So eventually I found a very interesting job. So it was at a company that produces spices.
Uh-huh.
And I remember the engineering department needed a secretary.
Okay.
And there was this friend of mine, we are
Mhm.
still friends to this. We had met at another interview just at the reception.
Ah.
So we were just talking, and then we both didn't get the job. But then she ended up getting a job in this company.
Mhm.
And then when there was a position, she reached out to me. She was like, by the
That's
way, this
lovely.
company is looking for someone. Yes. So that's how I ended up in that company. So I was working in the engineering department as a secretary.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's where I was until I came to the Netherlands.
Interesting. So all this time you were also studying.
It was the computer course. But in between, I
Okay.
also had the chance. There was a college that had opened and was giving people like some scholarships. So I managed to do like a 2-year course
Okay. Okay.
on business
Okay.
entrepreneurship. So after the computer course, I did that. And after that is when I got these jobs at the bank and all those the other places.
So you were hustling, babe. You were like, find a job, like find a
I was
calling.
hustling. I was hustling.
Mhm. Mhm.
I know. And even to pay for that
Okay.
fees. Most of us
Mhm.
in that college didn't have money.
Mhm.
So someone
Wash.
came up with a proposal. We can wash
Wow.
cars to
Wow.
pay our school fees. And we
Okay.
were washing
Okay.
cars.
Okay. Did you kind of know where you were going? Did you have an idea of what you wanted to reach for? Or was it just like you were finding out things you don't like and keep continuing to move?
I think in the bigger picture, I knew what first,
Okay.
I
Go
knew
abroad.
what
Mhm.
kind of life I wanted for myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't know how, but I knew first, I knew I wanted to go
Mhm.
abroad. I did a lot of
Wow.
applications. I think in one of my LinkedIn posts, I said it took me 8 years for me to get an opportunity. 8 years of
Okay.
applying. I used to apply UK, US,
Okay.
Australia. I knew that somehow I want to go out of this country. I want to study abroad. I want to do my bachelor's. I want to do my master's. And that was so
Of course.
important for me because seeing your peers who have opportunities
Yeah.
going to university and you can't afford, that was very tough for me. It was really tough.
Mhm.
It was really tough for me. So I knew that I'm not settling. I'm not
Yeah.
going to settle. And
But I'm going to
I
get there.
really told myself in my mind, I know the kind of life
Yeah.
I want.
So
And I'm
this
going
is
to
what we
get
call
there.
a witty cocktail of Delulu and and Audacity.
Exactly. Of seeming crazy. Because
Yeah.
I remember whenever I used to tell even people, I
You
will
could
go
not be.
abroad one day. I remember people are
Wow.
laughing. But like, ha ha ha, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna do it. Like, but look, because people are judging you based on
Yeah.
where you are. And they were not seeing my vision and how I was
Yeah.
pushing through.
So that's very admirable. And just for anyone else who listen and they're sitting in this position of like, just life hasn't moved in the direction that they want to know that if you stick to it, it will eventually come to. I love that. I love that so much. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me about how you got then the opportunity to move abroad. Mm-hmm.
So how did I get
Okay.
this? Amidst all the
Mm-hmm.
applications, I saw one time Maastricht University.
Never on
I
your
didn't
radar.
know where that was. I did not know.
Mhm.
Netherlands was never in my mind. I knew it was a small, good country with good
Mhm.
reputation. You'd read about it. Facebook was coming up at that time, 2010, 2011. I think it was still new.
Mhm.
And I saw it and I said, apply. I have nothing to lose. Since all my applications to the US had not worked out, I said, okay, let's try. And I got accepted.
So was America where you really wanted to go?
I really wanted to go to America. But looking back, I think it was good that I never went to America.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I think what I've been able to achieve in Europe, this is just my opinion, looking at
Yeah.
people that I know who have been there.
That's
I
good.
don't know if I would have had the life in America. This is just for me. I'm happy being
Yeah.
in Europe. It has its own challenges, but I think for me at the
Mhm.
end, it worked well that I came to
Mhm.
Europe. I'm happy I got that opportunity to come here.
Mhm.
So that was at the end of 2011. Suddenly things just moved so fast. Suddenly I'm being
It was your
accepted.
time.
Suddenly I'm being interviewed. Everything
How did
just
you
went
figure that
so
out?
fast. And I didn't have money to even buy a ticket. And
Uh-huh.
it was someone that I really look up to. Is like my second father to
Mm.
me, that at that time had told me before, like 2 years or a year before, he just said, come and
Okay.
stay with me.
Mhm.
And this is someone who had met me at
Mhm.
that program, college program that I was doing. And I still believe in God and how God
Interesting.
works, because I have no idea why he even spoke to
Mhm.
me when he came to that college.
Okay.
And somehow he just took a liking in me and he became like a father to me. And
Yeah.
he would check on me and he would ask me, what are your dreams? What are your ambitions? And whenever things just went south, whenever I was down and couldn't call my parents, I
Yeah.
always reached out to him. And he would be like, come. Somehow, yeah, it was
Okay.
really God or a guardian angel. So he is the one who really took me through coming to Europe, just ensuring that I've settled the first semester, taken care of.
Uh-huh.
So after the first
Yeah.
semester, because in Netherlands as
Uh-huh.
a non-EU student, I couldn't really do the work. I found out it
Mhm.
was, but I
Mhm.
remember I
Mhm.
had started in a hotel making beds, and then suddenly it was
Mm.
cut short because they found
Yeah.
out that, oh, I am an EU. Yeah, and I don't have the permit to work. So after the
Okay.
first semester, there was an opportunity for like a scholarship.
Okay.
I think one student had that scholarship
Uh-huh.
and then they dropped off because it wasn't for them. They felt the
Okay.
program wasn't for them. So I was
Wow.
considered for that
Okay.
scholarship. So that's how I managed to really study. Yeah,
A combination of the universe, God, guardian angels, eventually, and I think it's because you continue to believe in the dream too.
I
So
do.
that's
I
why it
do.
came to be. So what did you study at Maastricht?
I did social
Social
sciences.
sciences. Okay.
I focused on social sciences.
Why did you choose that study?
That was something so interesting about UCM, as we
Mm-hmm.
call it. And I liked it because it gave you freedom.
Okay.
So we had core classes where everyone had to take core subjects, but
Mm-hmm.
then you could choose whatever you wanted to.
Okay.
So for me, I always chose courses that were so interesting to me. And at some point I thought, I want to work at the UN. So I took
Okay.
a lot of development studies, international relations. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I came with this idea that I want to study international relations.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So mostly I focused my courses on that. But then towards the third year, I was like, you know what, this dream of the UN, it might never come true.
Why was it
I think
dying?
reality was checking in.
Okay.
I was like, that dream might never come true.
Yeah.
And I took a course on sustainable development. And
Okay.
it was really about sustainability, SDGs. And
Mm-hmm.
I became so curious. Like, what is this about? And that's the time I got in contact with sustainability. And I said,
Uh-huh.
okay,
That's how you got into
maybe
this
I should go
field.
into this. Yes. And I said, okay, maybe I need to go into sustainability because I would also like to work in corporate social responsibility for
Mm-hmm.
companies, something good. So that's how I started to again change my direction.
Right.
And that's how I got into sustainability.
That's how you got your start in this field. Okay, so then you graduate from Maastricht, and did you stay in the Netherlands for a little while, or did you immediately move afterwards?
No, I moved. I moved 3 years of being there. I thought I need a change.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am one person who loves change.
Oh, is it?
Yes, because I like new things. I like to be intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
So I like change. I like when things change a bit. So I told myself, I'm in Europe. This is a possibility. I
Yeah.
can go to another country. Why not?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I started looking for
Super
a
new.
master's in sustainability. And at that time, it was a very new topic. Sustainability in 2015 was very new. There were very few universities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very few universities offering it. And I remember there were 3 options. It was Grenoble,
Mm-hmm.
it was Rennes, and it was in the UK. Those were my 3
Mainland. Mm-hmm.
possibilities. I didn't want to go to the
And you
UK.
would lose the opportunity of
And yeah,
the
and I
access that you
felt
get from mainland Europe and the
exactly,
diversity of
exactly,
opportunities, rather.
exactly,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
exactly. So I chose against going to the UK. I was like, no, it's already cold enough. I'm
You're like,
like,
I
it's
can't take
already
like more
windy
of
and
that.
rainy here.
I'm not doing this.
I can't take more of that. So I went to
Okay.
France. Then I applied to Rennes and
Aha.
I got the opportunity to go there. Then I went to France.
So the master's, okay. So master's in sustainability. Does that program still exist? And it was for how long?
Yeah, it was for 1.5 years.
And was it or fully funded,
It was
partially
partially.
funded, and you had to figure out the rest? Because these are the questions for people who are trying to find their way. You know, how do you find the opportunity, and then how do you fund it, and so forth. So yeah, good to
Mm-hmm.
hear your experience with that, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Then after that, I
Mm-hmm.
did my internship in Paris. It was for a very small rating agency. But then just living in Paris, I was like, it's not the city.
Why was it not for you?
No, it was not for me. I think it was just
Mm-hmm.
being very realistic with myself, where I was, what I would earn, what quality of life would I have. That has
Okay.
always been very important for me. When I choose a location for me, it's also about what quality of
Mm-hmm.
life will I have in
Mm-hmm.
comparison to
Okay.
what I'm earning. And yeah, and that's just for me. I thought first finding housing in Paris was a nightmare. Just finding a room, and this is in a shared
Mm-hmm.
apartment, was a nightmare. And I saw so many, whenever I visited houses, there were so many people who are older but are looking
Mm-hmm.
for housemates. And to me, I was like, will this be
Yes,
my life being
you're
in
like, this could not
Paris?
be my life. Yeah.
Can never be my life. Those were just some of the factors, but I
Okay.
was really
Okay.
looking into the future because I tend to
Mm-hmm.
ask myself 5 years from now, what
Okay.
kind of life do I want? What do I want to have
Mm-hmm.
achieved?
I
Can I
see.
achieve it here? And for me, it was just, I thought the kind of salary maybe that I would be earning and then
Yeah.
my
It didn't
quality
look
of
like it
life,
would be a
I just
future.
thought no. So yeah, so I decided that no, I'm going to come
Okay.
to Germany because I felt like at that time Germany was already
Yes.
talking about sustainability and everything. I just felt like it was a country which would give me
Okay. Okay.
opportunities
So
in
you were
that
following
field.
where your field was getting
Yeah,
more popular, and the types of opportunities you would get. Okay.
exactly.
So then we moved to Germany.
Then we moved to Germany. We
Uh-huh.
packed up one December after they had told me in Paris, yeah, we want to give you a
Wow.
contract. I told them, no, thank you. One November, I just said, okay, let me see if I find a
Uh-huh.
visa appointment. They were all booked. Luckily,
Uh-huh.
one appointment opened up. I quickly applied just before Christmas. I got the visa.
Wow.
I packed up
Okay.
and left.
Okay. So you even left like an opportunity in Paris that you had been offered, but because you had
Yeah,
so
I
much
did.
conviction
I did.
about the direction you were going.
Exactly. So I left.
You're watching the B2C podcast, the Black Woman Corporate Career Blueprint. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Now back to the episode. Well, first of all, as an immigrant, a lot of times we are in survival mode, and you are prone to want safety over anything. And safety looks like being
Yeah, for
given
sure.
the opportunity and the everything. And you're like, okay, gotta keep this. This is the thing I've got. I don't know if I'm gonna get the next one, you know.
Yeah.
But for you, you were really
Yeah.
like, this is what I've decided, and I'm moving with it.
Yeah, but I cannot also underscore that I had people who supported me.
So far, you've been moving with audacity, regardless.
Moving with Audacity, but it's not only Audacity, but as I say, the reason I'm always wanting to support others is because I know that I
You
have
have
been
been
supported
supported
by other
yourself.
people. Yes, I wouldn't be where I am if others had not sacrificed something to give
Yeah.
me. And that I always remind myself, the reason I'm willing to support others, I'm like, others also
Yeah.
supported me. Others also sacrificed something little for me, whether it's time, whether it's resources. They
Yeah.
did that so that I could be
Yeah.
here.
From that father figure who helped you cross the pond to start
Exactly.
your life in
Yeah,
Europe. And during your life in Maastricht, did you also have a good support structure around you? Like, how did you
I
cultivate
did.
support along the way up until this part of your journey?
So one of the things that I really liked about the university is that they always had like, they paired you up with a
Okay.
professor. There was a name, I can't really, academic
Okay.
advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an amazing academic
Okay.
advisor.
Good.
He, up to this day, we still keep in touch. I still visit
Very
him.
nice.
Yes, because he was really that one person that listened to
Mm-hmm.
me, that supported me, that sometimes fought for
Okay.
me. And he was really, I mean, he was really my support
Mm-hmm.
system when I was studying there. Of course, I had friends that I also met there, but
Yeah.
you just needed that person who can really see you, can fight for you, can support you. You know, your student friends will just be your
Yes.
student
Yes.
friends.
Yes. Yes.
But there are some things you're going through which you need someone older or someone who is really from there to
Yeah.
fight for you. And that was my academic advisor.
So academic advisor was key when you were in college, and then through your masters and into kind of your life in Paris. What was your support system like?
I also like had friends there. And I also would reach out to
Okay.
people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I have come to know. Just reach out to people.
Okay.
Reach out to people. People, you know, most of the time we're just afraid, but what's the worst that can happen? They might just not
Yeah.
answer you. But I've come to realize that you'll be surprised that 99% of the time people are so
They're kind
kind.
and open.
People are kind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So also just reach out to people. I've always been that person. I reach out to
Okay.
people.
Okay.
I ask questions. I want to know something. I'm reaching out to people. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, support networks is always a huge part for you. That's really interesting and good to know. So now we're in Germany. Let's talk about that part of the chapter of your life. So you arrived there. How did it go? What happened?
So when I arrived here, I had a plan. First, just go to language school. Like there is no
Okay.
excuse about that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
told myself there's no way I'm going to survive. While I'm looking for a job, I'm going to learn the language. That was my plan.
Okay.
Whenever I have moved, I have a plan.
Okay.
I'm arriving there, but what are we
What are
doing?
we doing?
While we are looking for a job, we better learn the language.
Okay.
So I went to language school. I started learning the language, and when I was like A2,
Mm-hmm.
and I was also applying for jobs because I think you understand that one of the biggest pressures is always the
Okay.
visa.
Yes, of course.
The job visa was 6 months, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
6 months. So I knew I had to get a job in six
Right.
months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was applying like a crazy woman.
Okay.
You go to class, you
Yeah,
come back,
I
you're
do.
even the jobs you don't understand what is written in the job description in German.
You just need a job. You need a way to get started.
Exactly. So I applied, and really on the fifth month, I got this call for a job that was somewhere in the middle of nowhere in
Uh-huh.
North Bavaria. And remember, I'm
Okay.
living like in Dusseldorf at that time. So then the lady called me and was like, I don't even know if I was understanding the German she was speaking. I think she
Yes.
spoke to me, but
Yeah.
we are like, we're gonna make
Mm-hmm.
it work. So then they were like, yeah, can you come on this and this date for an interview? I was like, yes. I didn't
Yeah.
know how I was gonna get there. It's like almost
Wow.
600
Yeah.
kilometers
Germany is
away.
big. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we are getting there. So I rented a car and
Mm-hmm.
I drove. So I went there for the interview. It was good. Can you move here? I was like, yes. But in my head, I'm like, shit,
Mm-hmm.
where am I moving to? This
Yep.
is the
Yep.
middle like
Yep.
of
Yep. Yep.
nowhere.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then after that, because now
Okay.
I had to change my visa, that was the whole
Mm.
stress there. So I had to come back and going through all these processes of changing from that work, like the short
Okay. Yeah. Work
searching
study
for
visa.
work visa to now a real it was so much stressful. I would go try to make an appointment. We are being told, no, they need, I don't know, the contract. The company is saying, no, we need to see the permits before
The
we
whole
make you
run
the
around.
contract.
Mm-hmm.
The whole runaround. And I remember going once to the offices, and I remember it was the guy at the reception telling me, no, you go back and wait until September when you have that appointment. I'm like, but I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be starting in September. What do you mean I go back? So I was so angry. I remember telling that reception. Anyway, I know the lady handling my file. I'm just going
Yes.
to walk to her office. And he was like, no, you cannot go there. I was like, I'm going. I'm going. I don't know what got into me. I just went there.
Yeah.
I knocked the door. That lady opened. I explained to her. She was so kind. She
Yeah.
immediately just made me the permit. And then it was sent to my employer. And so I always go back also to that moment and remind myself, what would have
Yeah.
happened if I
And
had just
left.
listened to that man who
Yeah.
was telling me you cannot go and left? So sometimes you have to fight for yourself. You really have
Indeed.
to fight for
Indeed.
yourself.
Boldly move it. Like just fight, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got that permit, got the
Mm-hmm.
contract, and then I moved. I had just arrived here,
Okay.
so I was
Okay.
moving again. So then I moved there. It was a textile company. They had a
Mm-hmm.
global CSR department. So I worked there. It was a nice
Mm-hmm.
job. I
Mm-hmm.
really learned a lot. My boss there was supportive. She was supportive. So again, I knew living in this
Okay.
village can never be my life. It was good,
Yeah.
but the disconnection,
Yeah.
it was just so far. My friends couldn't visit because the closest airport was like
Wow. Okay.
75 kilometers away. It was a small airport where it's either you were flying to Munich, which was like 2.5 hours or something away, or you're flying to this airport. And these small airports don't have consistency,
I
and the flights are
see.
so expensive. So it was so tough. It was really tough being there. It was
Yeah. And
nice, but
Doris, were
it
you
was so
doing your
tough.
job in German? Partly in German. Wow.
Partly. I only had A2. I was struggling. The language struggle is real. So with the little that I could,
The language struggle is real, huh? The language struggle is
it is. It
very
really
real.
is.
Germany is by far one of the most challenging ones. And talk about like, especially for you, if you said it was in the middle of nowhere, then for sure the insistence on German was going to be there.
It was important, but the problem is that there was also no language course that I could take
Ah.
afterwards. It was not easy. So I
Uh-huh.
ended up finding this woman who, after work, she was like just tutoring
Okay.
me and
Okay.
teaching me one on one. But what I also learned, we learn a language better by talking to everyday people.
Immersing yourself in the culture.
What you learn in the course is just structure. Because you come out and people talk, you're like, what
That's me
the
and
hell
Dutch
have I
all the
been
time.
learning
I'm
in
like,
that
they did
class?
not teach me this in class. Yeah.
Exactly. And I just have come to notice that
Yes.
the more you talk to people, the more
Mm-hmm.
you pick new words. The more you
Yeah.
understand different accents, the more it gets better. So I'm always encouraging people who are
Talk
learning,
to the people
talk
around
to
you.
people, because you will leave that class here, you scored A, you had very good scores, and you come out
Indeed.
here and you can't even talk. You're like, what
Yeah.
have
So
I
you
been
have
learning?
to throw yourself out there. And
Yeah,
it's very like daunting to do that.
it's really is so daunting because your head, I always say, is like at the end of the day, like a central processing
Uh-huh.
unit. It's so hot
Yes.
because your mind still translates the foreign language to
Yeah.
English to you talking, the foreign language to English to you understanding. So your head is so hot, but I'm happy that my boss
Okay.
still gave
Okay.
me that opportunity. I had A2, but she still gave me that opportunity, even though a large part of the work was to do with
Okay.
speaking English, because we had a lot of colleagues in Asia. So it was, but internally, of course, you had to understand the
Mm-hmm.
language to
Mm-hmm.
connect
Mm-hmm.
with the people, which sometimes can be very difficult and isolating.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So then most of your career has
Uh,
been in the ESG sustainability space. How have you grown yourself over the
yes.
years in
Yes.
this space?
I think I have, this is so fun. I have
Okay.
grown myself because sustainability has also
Mm-hmm.
changed. As I said, when I
Mm-hmm.
started, it was very new. There were not so many regulations. Like looking at EU, there were not so many regulations
Mm-hmm.
also. And I started in corporate social responsibility, which looked at supply chain and everything. And then after 2 years, when I left that job, I said that was the time also ESG had started, had really started,
Uh-huh.
because I
Uh-huh.
thought I wanted to do something more than just CSR. I wanted to
Okay.
really be involved in more than just CSR. So when I saw that ESG had started, I thought, okay, I want to work in ESG. I can see that I can
Mm-hmm.
get more involved in the day-to-day activities of a company. And when I left that job 2 years later and moved back to Düsseldorf,
Okay.
I also went back to language school. That was my
Yes.
plan. I have quit. What am I doing? I said, let me improve my language in the meantime while I tried to find
Okay.
something. And while I was looking for a job, Corona comes.
Yes. It really did for all of us.
Corona came. I still remember I remember
Yeah.
being in that class and someone panicking, a woman panicking. She doesn't want to be there because she's heard there is this
Yeah.
disease that has now arrived in Europe. I remember it was by 2. The class
Wow.
had been
Okay.
dissolved. And guys, we will be doing this online. That's the time I was looking for a new job. I'm like, okay, but I believe I'm a child of God. The opportunity opened up right in the middle of Corona in 2020. I got this
Uh-huh.
job and then I started. So in the area of ESG. And it was quite different from what I was doing because now I work more, I have been involved
Okay.
more with sustainable investments, like responsible investing, implementing that within the
Mm-hmm.
company, which has been very involving. You're working with internal, external stakeholders. So
Okay.
for me, I've always been on top of the trends.
Mm-hmm.
What is happening? Should I be changing direction? I've also done
Okay.
certification.
Okay.
So I always just did also certifications. I
Okay.
keep abreast also of how is the regulation changing?
How should
Because
you
the
go?
regulations will always sometimes guide you. How should you go? Where should you? Yeah.
Interesting. So staying on top of trends. So certifications is like one way of doing that. What are your other structured ways of staying on top of trends in your industry?
In my industry, also, I think when you attend a lot of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
conferences, also attend a lot of conferences, attend
Yeah.
webinars, because there, especially when it is like industry webinars, people will always
Mm-hmm.
discuss
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
upcoming topics. You
Right.
get to learn a lot from those webinars. What are we talking about in
Okay.
the industry? What topics are they pushing for in the industry? And you can always know. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say just really getting to understanding those webinars, go to those conferences, get to
Mm-hmm.
understand what's upcoming, what is changing, what are companies thinking, in the next 5 years, what goals are they
Yes.
setting? Yeah, especially corporate goals can
Mm-hmm.
always guide you because those are the priorities for companies for the next 5 to 10
Interesting.
years. So that's also what I look at and I could address. Yeah.
So Doris, what is hot and happening in this field now? What is the biggest thing in the ESG world?
I would say a lot is
Okay.
changing based on what
Mm-hmm.
is happening in the US. And this is my opinion. Of course,
Okay.
with what's happening in the US, you see a lot of sentiment
Is
against
it?
ESG, which is also spilling into Europe a little bit. Yes, yes, you see that sentiment, that it's coming. And some people have even
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah, ESG will die. But I don't think ESG will die. It will maybe just evolve. It will evolve, but I
Okay.
think ESG will still continue being an interesting, strong topic. Why do I say this?
Mm-hmm.
Because everything that
Yeah.
happens when you look at
Mm-hmm.
environmental issues, they will continue being there. Climate change will continue affecting
Agreement or
whether
not?
the US pulls out of the Paris Agreement or not. I keep telling people these environmental hazards, they will continue rising. Biodiversity loss. And all this will feed also into social issues. Yeah, it will feed into when we have biodiversity loss, it will mean maybe people will start fighting
Mm-hmm.
for the little resources. People start migrating from those areas. When we are having too much floods, people start moving from those areas. And what will that
Indeed.
mean? That will mean people will start crowding and fighting for the resources in one area. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the topic will continue being strong.
Yeah. So mine is healthcare as a whole, and we keep seeing it for healthcare. The urgency continues to be the global crisis is making people sicker, which means more people at the door of the hospitals, and they have to work with less resources.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
our imperative as a health tech company is
It's
how do
true.
we help still deliver
It's
technology, make
true.
it
Yeah,
accessible in this type of situation, you know? So the things that are causing it are
hmm,
not trends. They're not like, momentary. They are like
hmm,
only
hmm.
growing in significance. And someone politically not
Yeah,
believing in it just because doesn't
it's
change
true.
that.
It's true. It doesn't. It will not change you getting sick. It will not change your house flooding, being underwater. It will not change that. Yeah.
Doris, there are two other really big things I want to talk to you about
Oh,
that
yeah.
you have
Thanks.
done. The first is Black Professionals Europe. Can you talk a little bit about how that started and what you are doing with it?
So that started when I met Rukayat.
Uh-huh.
Rukayat. So I also saw her on LinkedIn
Ah,
because
okay.
she's very big on wealth,
Okay.
creating wealth and
Yes, yes,
financial
yes.
literacy for minorities. So I connected with her on LinkedIn, and then we happened to meet at an event. I didn't know she was going to be there. I was there,
Okay.
and I was like, "You are Rukayat," and she was like, "Yeah." So we connected, and we were like, maybe it would be good to bring other professionals, other Black professionals together
Mm-hmm.
to just how can we support each other, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a student, whether you are at the peak of your profession, mid-career, whichever level. But we just wanted a space where we could come together and just discuss and elevate one another. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how Black Professionals was born. In 2020, end of 2023, I think we met together in Mannheim with some few individuals and just discussed what can we do. And then for the next time, we also met at a law firm in Frankfurt,
Okay.
which was kind enough to support us. Just bringing people together, some panelists to discuss diversity in companies. How are they implementing? That was our second meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And now for this year, I'm planning that event talking about
Mm-hmm.
the future of work and AI
Yeah.
because I feel like we need to reposition ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How can we upskill? How can we adapt ourselves? Again, it's about adapting us. The reality is that AI is here. Whether it's going to take our jobs or not, I don't know. Some
Yeah.
people say, yeah, it will. Some people say, no, it will not. It will just make us efficient. So we
Yeah.
don't know what is the
Mm-hmm.
truth. But
Mm.
whatever it is, I have told myself that I want to learn about AI as much. I want to understand
You're
it.
gonna get at the forefront of it. Yeah.
Yes, I just
Yeah.
want to understand it and I want to learn with others. I want to bring
Mm-hmm.
others into the conversation. So that was the whole way it started. And we also met Enoch. Enoch has also started Black Professionals UK. He's been
Mm-hmm.
so big. pushing for that community. He's doing amazing things. So Enoch was
Yeah.
there to really support us because we told him, you already have the structures. So he was there to support us, and that's how Black Professionals Europe started. And that's what we are
How
all
can people
about.
get involved in Black Professionals Europe?
So we do have a page. You
Okay.
can follow
Yeah.
the page
We'll
on
be there.
LinkedIn. You can always write us messages. We also have our website where you can register to be a member. I must say we still have to put our
Okay.
house in order because I think it's just challenging having 40-hour week of work and then trying to do everything, yeah, and still building a community.
Okay. 40-hour work week and still building a community. That's a
It,
lot.
it, it's a lot. So this year we want to sit down. We are just trying now to see how can we structure it better
Okay.
and how can we offer more value to our members.
Mm-hmm.
So soon I'll be putting out a call for volunteers.
Okay.
If people want to really volunteer to come and help us build this community,
Yes.
I would really be happy if they can come and just say, this would be the topics that we would like to push. This would be the important topics. I would like to do this. So we are very open to also having volunteers
New
come and
profession.
support
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
It's a wonderful idea. I am a deep community person, and I'm really looking forward to participating in this one as well, seeing where it goes. So we will share all this information for everyone with the episode. And yeah, I hope that more people will pick it up as a whole. And then secondly, you also have Pachedu. So can you talk a little bit about that as well?
I'm doing so much.
Yeah.
Someone told me you're doing a lot.
Yeah,
But I'm just following my
of
passion.
course. Love it.
Whatever
We
I
love
feel this
it.
excites
Yes.
me and I want to do it, I do it. So I bumped into Mafrida, my co-founder,
Yeah.
Pachedu, last year when I attended the World Economic Forum.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, yeah, serendipity.
Yeah.
So nothing planned, but then I saw her there and like, you're Mafrida. And funny enough, we both studied in Maastricht, but we had not
Amazing.
seen each other for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we bumped into each other at the West. And it was her first time being there. It was my first time being there
Mm-hmm.
because I took myself there. And we said, next year we are not coming here as spectators. We have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
How we're going to do it, we don't know.
Okay.
But Mafrida is also a doer. She believes, she manifests, and it has to come to life.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So we had the idea of building the platform. How can we bring Africans in the diaspora
Mm-hmm.
to connect them with opportunities back home? How
Mm-hmm.
can we connect those back home with Africans in the diaspora?
Mm-hmm.
And how can we also, like, especially founders, investors, just people looking, into that space. And beyond just Africans in the diaspora, there are also people here in Europe who are interested in maybe investing in Africa or contributing, but they don't know where to start. So we said, why not? That could be an interesting platform where we bring people together. So it was tough, but we got the opportunity to contact someone from Andavos Mark who was so supportive, and Mafrida pitched to him, this is our idea, this is what we are thinking, and we would like to have an event under your platform called Andavos in Davos.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in, and he really supported us. And that's how our first event came to happen in Davos
I love it.
early this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we had such a short period of time from November running through December,
To design
Christmas,
the event.
for trying to put the event together, that we did manage and we learned a lot.
Okay.
So now we are also continuing to build on that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
We have a page, we have a landing page, and we are trying to make a website.
Mm-hmm.
We are really in talks with partners. We've started working with partners. We are also going to start a newsletter,
Yeah.
which we will really be sharing what's happening on the continent, what's happening in Europe, especially those who are interested in Africa in whatever way. We will be putting a newsletter together. We also plan that once a quarter, we will be having like an online webinar
Okay.
to talk about Pachedu, who we are, what we are doing, and also just to share opportunities on the continent. There
Okay.
is so much we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like as Africans, we also just live within our blocks.
Okay.
I'm from East Africa. You stay
Yeah.
there.
So
You're from South Africa. You tend to be in your blocks without really being interested in, for example, investment opportunities in the West African
Right,
land.
right,
That there are
right,
many
right.
investment opportunities and there are ways you can invest. That's what I really learned.
Yeah.
That you can invest. But we are so scared, we don't even know where to begin.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't even attempt. So we also need to break those barriers within
Uh-huh.
ourselves to know that actually I can invest in Togo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there are opportunities to, for example, I can buy a government bond of Benin. I didn't know that.
So so you are facilitating kind of cross-pollination across the continent as well.
Exactly.
And I like it. So the importance of this platform is also surfacing those opportunities, in creating space for
Exactly.
those conversations.
Exactly. Because we also need to come out of our shells,
Yeah, indeed.
of our own blocks, and
Yeah,
to know that we can actually invest outside our
I
countries.
love it.
How can I invest in Zimbabwe?
Yeah,
People should come and learn about opportunities in
yeah.
Zimbabwe.
And know what to
There
do
are
about it.
opportunities beyond Cape Town, Nairobi, Lagos, just
Yeah,
so those are some of the conversations that we really want to
love
foster.
it. Love it. Beautiful. Yes, you are doing a lot, Doris. And I love it though. So I think I learned even more about you in this conversation than I have in the last kind of year or so of like knowing each other. So thank you for being like so open and sharing. I mean, the three words you chose to describe
Yeah,
yourself really come
yeah,
out in your story. Resilience, come on, girl. Like all the odd jobs, all of the things, just burrowing through lots of challenges to get to where you are. It's very admirable, and I like being in Germany,
thank you.
mastering the language and everything. It's inspiring. It's frankly inspiring,
Thank
and
you.
then the openness to
Thank
just
you.
say that's the opportunity I want. I'm gonna move and do it.
Move, move.
Move,
I
girl.
think the universe meets you where you tell it to.
Whew. Say that again.
The universe will meet you where you want it to meet.
Absolutely.
That's what, and
Yeah.
I think having gone through all these things,
Mm-hmm.
I think now whenever I have a tough moment, I look back, I'm like, girl, you've been through worse
You're like, this is
things.
nothing.
What are you get off the sofa? Why are you feeling
Yeah.
miserable? Like,
Yeah.
get off the sofa.
Gosh. Absolutely. There's also this phrase which is like luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Exactly.
And it's the exact same thing, right? Like I think you always knew your North Star and where you wanted to go, and you were like, when the opportunity came, you were prepared for them. And you took them.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. All right.
exactly.
So from here now, what does the future look like for you, Doris? From ESG to Pachedu to all these different things that you're doing.
That's one question that I get.
Huh?
And I keep saying, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm very open to exploring. I feel we live in an age where there is so much to learn,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to put myself in a box.
Okay.
So for me, the future is very exciting. What will I be doing? I don't know. Do I have things in pipeline which I would like to explore?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to explore those things. This is my year of exploration. I told myself, as I said, this is my year of exploration and this is my decade of growth.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two things I've told myself.
Okay.
So I'm going to learn as much. I'm going to explore as much. I'm going to connect as much.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see what
So
that brings.
that's my plan.
I love it.
That's how the future looks like for me.
Solid plan. I love it. I love it. All right, let's end with a couple more questions.
Yes.
Doris, what is a book that you read that you really liked and why?
There's one book that I read a while back called When Breath Becomes Air.
I love that book.
Yes.
I cried
You know
so
that book.
much.
I did. I cried so much in that book.
Yeah.
He's fighting. He's a doctor himself.
Yeah.
And he's, he has a few months to live. And what does he do?
Yeah.
That's one book that I read that really taught me how life is so fragile.
Uh-huh.
Life is so fragile. When we are alive and healthy, we live as if we will live for 20 years.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a reminder that you might die at 30, you might die at 20.
It could
So
happen. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it could just happen.
Yeah.
And you never know when it will happen. So just live every day as if it was the last.
Yes, yes. When breath becomes air is it's also a solid core memory for me reading that book.
Yeah.
So I completely get it. Fantastic. Again, I want to thank you for coming onto the pod. And I loved
Thanks
this
for having
conversation.
me.
I learned new things about you. I am absolutely floored by your tenaciousness, your like resilience, and just your attitude to life is very inspiring. Being open, wanting to learn, like being the person who gets to say, what's gonna happen to me if I don't know? And I'm comfortable with
I
that.
don't know.
I don't know.
I could move to
And it's
Russia if I
okay.
want to. Somewhere
You know, it's
like
such a common
I don't
interview
know what.
question. Like, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? I don't know.
Yeah, but I think because many people tend to lie.
Mm.
Because really, do you really know what's gonna happen in 5 years? No, you do. You only wish.
They think they have a plan. So I think we all have like an idea of a plan. So that's what you express. But to truly have the confidence to sit with the uncertainty and unknown and knowing that life will work out, that is admirable and it's unique. So I love learning that about you.
Yeah, and I think I was listening to a very interesting podcast. I don't know if it was Kevin O'Leary who was talking about this. He's worked with people like Elon
Uh-huh.
Musk, with people like Steve Jobs. I think he invested in them. And he said, I think he was talking about, if I'm not wrong, that Elon Musk has this 90-day plan.
Uh-huh.
Short term, execute 90 days. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
furthest he will plan ahead for.
Because then I think you can always adjust yourself when things happen. You have not
Mm.
fixed in this 5-year plan. And now what happens when everything changes
Yeah,
geopolitically and all this? Yeah.
I like it.
what, what happens to your 10-year
Yeah.
plan?
Now, yeah, you're right. Okay, okay. That
Yeah.
is
So I
beautiful.
have things I would like to
Uh-huh.
achieve in 5 years. There are things which I say, yeah, I would like to have achieved this. But then how do I get there in small blocks, in small steps?
Yes,
What little things do I need to be doing to
to
get
get
there?
there.
And so I set my short steps, you know,
Yeah,
just slowly, slowly. And if it doesn't work out, we pivot.
you
We
pivot.
pivot so quickly,
Ah, we've been pivoting our whole
so
lives.
fast.
This is nothing.
Transition.
Transition, you pivot. But yeah, I appreciate this so much. Maybe we finish with like 3 pieces of wisdom that you want to leave other Black women with. What would they be?
One wisdom is if you're no longer wanted at the table, leave when you can and leave at your own terms.
Okay.
Because if you don't leave, you'll be forced to leave.
Okay.
That is
That's a
just
double.
one thing that's just one thing that I have learned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And don't be in spaces where you are tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
Be in spaces where you are celebrated.
Oof. Yes, indeed.
And the third one is strive to be happy. Happiness is underrated.
Yeah.
Just strive to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
I strive for happiness. I have said I strive for happiness
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not letting anything ruin my happiness.
Yes. Yes. I
Yeah.
love it. Oh, I love it. If you're not wanted any, ooh, girl, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Live on your own terms.
Yeah.
Don't be where you're tolerated. Be where you're celebrated, and strive to be
Yes.
happy. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
Well, Doris, thank you again for spending time with me
Thank you.
today. That's it from me this month. Thank you for tuning in to yet another inspirational conversation on the career journeys of Black women in the corporate world. Come over to the B2C LinkedIn, Instagram page, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Lastly, you can also make a small donation to keep this podcast going. You can buy me a coffee or a wine with the link in the show notes. For now, I am your host, Nancy, and to the Black women out there, keep making bold moves and keep taking up space.